Book Talks with Katie. Oh, hi there. Today I'm going to be showing you Diary of a Worm, which is written by Doreen Cronin, pictures by Harry Bliss. This book is super fun because you get the inside scoop on what it's like to be a worm. So each of the pages have a layout where it looks like journal entries. So right here at the top it has a date, and then it has his journal entry right here. Our main character is this worm right here. He wears a red baseball cap, and that's how you know who he is through the entire book. I'm going to read you a journal entry from April 20th in his journal. Here it is. It says, I snuck up on some kids in the park today. They didn't hear me coming. I wiggled up right in between them and they screamed. You can see the worm right there and the girls are all screaming. I love it when they do that, said the worm. I really like this book. I think you'll find it interesting. There's a lot of other events that happens in this worm's life. Like what happens when it rains? What happens to his house? Does it flood? Who knows? You'll just have to read more. Up next, we have Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. This is by Mo Willems. It's about a pigeon who wants to drive a bus.
Can you even imagine a bird driving a bus?
I'm going to read you a couple pages into the book and then we'll talk about it more. Here's the first page. Hi, I'm the bus driver. Listen, I've got to leave for a little while. So can you watch things for me until I get back? Thanks. And oh, remember, don't let the pigeon drive the bus. So the bus driver has asked us to make sure the pigeon does not drive the bus. Here you can see him walking away from the bus. Did you see that pigeon popping out of the corner? Here's the first spread. I thought he'd never leave. Hey, can I drive the bus? So that's all I'm gonna read to you from the beginning of this book. But you have to finish it to find out what happens. Does the pigeon drive the bus? Does the bus driver kick him off? Will you stop him from driving the bus? You have to tell him what to do. Who knows? So read more to find out about the life inside of a pigeon who wants to drive a bus. Is Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl. This book is so fun because it takes you into the life of a fox. You get to figure out how the fox lives in a tree. How does he survive 3 crazy farmers that are trying to kill him? And how does he keep his family alive? What is he gonna do? I'll read you a little snippet from the book just to give you a taste of its style. Down in the valley there were 3 farms. The owner of these farms had done well. They were rich men, they were also nasty men. All 3 of them were about as nasty and mean as any men you can meet. Their names were Farmer Bogus, Farmer Bunce, and Farmer Bean. Bogus was a chicken farmer. He kept thousands of chickens. He was enormously fat. This was because he ate 3 boiled chickens smothered with dumplings every day for breakfast, lunch, and supper. Here's the picture of Bunce right here. Bunce was a duck and goose farmer. He kept thousands of ducks and geese. He was kind of a pot-bellied dwarf. He was so short his chin would have been under the water at the shallow end of any swimming pool in the world. His food was donuts and goose livers. He mashed the livers into a disgusting paste and then stuffed the paste into the donuts. This diet gave him a tummy ache and a beastly temper. There's the picture of that one. Let's find out what the third guy is like. Bean was a turkey and apple farmer. He kept thousands of turkeys in an orchard full of apples. He never ate any food at all. Instead, he drank gallons of strong cider, which he made from apples in the orchard. He was as thin as a pencil and cleverest of them all. Bogus and Bunce and Bean, one fat, one short, one lean. These terrible quirks, no different in looks, were none less equally mean. This is what the children roundabout used to sing when they saw them. That's the end of chapter 1. Here's the picture of Bean. Let's see, he's thin as a pencil. So those are the 3 men that Mr. Fox have to face, and they're all trying to kill him, and they all seem like pretty nasty men, like the book said. So read it and find out what happens. Next book that we have is Dinosaurs Before Dark by Mary Pope Osborne. This book is an adventure of a boy and a little girl. The 2 of them are very adventurous, especially the girl. The boy's name is Jack, and the girl's name is Annie, and they're actually brothers and sisters. And one day they're adventuring in the woods when they come across a rope hanging from a tall tree. And they say, I don't know about that. But Annie decides that she wants to climb it. So she climbs to the top, and Jack and her go inside. And I'm going to read you a little snippet of what happens. Here's a picture of the treehouse. And when they get inside the treehouse, there's a whole bunch of books, and Jack loves books, so they read some of those. So Jack is reading a book about dinosaurs, and Annie's reading a book about castles. Jack opened the dinosaur book to where the bookmark was. He couldn't help himself. He turned to a picture of an ancient flying reptile, a pteranodon. He touched the bat-like wings. Wow, whispered Jack. I wish I could see a pteranodon for real. Jack studied the picture of the odd-looking creature soaring through the sky. Ah! Screamed Annie. What? Said Jack. A monster! Annie cried. She pointed to the tree house window. Stop pretending, Annie, said Jack. No, really, said Annie. Jack looked out the window. A giant creature was gliding above the treetops. He had a long, weird crest on the back of his head, a skinny beak, and huge bat-like wings. It was a real live pteranodon. The creature curved through the sky. He was coming straight for the treehouse. He looked like a glider plane. The wind began to blow. The leaves trembled. Suddenly, the creature soared up, high into the sky. Jack nearly fell out the window trying to see it. The wind picked up. It was whistling now. The treehouse started to spin. What's happening? Cried Jack. Get down, shouted Annie. She pulled him back from the window. The treehouse was spinning faster and faster. Jack squeezed his eyes shut. He held on to Annie. Then everything was still, absolutely still. Jack opened his eyes. Sunlight slanted through the window. There was Annie. The books, the backpack. The treehouse was still up high in an oak tree, but it wasn't the same oak tree. And here's the picture. You can see Jack leaning out of the window. So, you'll just have to read the rest of the story to find out what happens to Jack and Annie. Why did they get inside a treehouse? Why did the treehouse start spinning? And why are they not in the same oak tree? And how does Jack know that? Find out more in Dinosaurs Before Dark by Mary Pope Osborne. Swirl by Swirl by Joyce, Sidman. Pictures by Beth Crones. This book has beautiful art. As you can see, the colors are very vibrant. And there's lots of specific lines that you can see where the illustrator was very intricate in their detail. This book is about all the swirls we see in nature. We see swirls in succulents, in the planets, inside a sunflower, on a ram, their horns, snails, roses, when animals curl up to sleep, octopuses on their tentacles. So I'm just gonna read you the first page, see what you think. Spiral is a snuggling shape. It fits neatly in small places. Coiled tight, warm and safe, it waits for a chance to expand. So in here you can see the snake. I'll come a little closer. The snake is all coiled up, and the woodchuck's all coiled up, and then on the next page, you can see the snake is now unwinded and the woodchuck is poking its head out. It's not curled up anymore. So in the rest of the story, you find out about the different things that swirl in nature, and it'll surprise you. There's a lot more things that have swirls than you think.